Hello children, welcome to the next session of our computer class. We have covered the theory portions of chapter 2 library classes. Hope you all went through the lesson. Hope you understood and I did not get any queries. So I believe that you have understood things well. Now in this session we will be going with some solved programs. I'll be explaining the solved programs which uses the wrapper class as well as the ASCII code conversion. Okay, and I will show you with BlueJ and explain you the programs. But at the same time, I also want you to do some programs of your own, and that will be from the solved exercises. Clear? Your back exercises, there are few questions. Review inside, you have to go through that review inside questions, as well as you have some exercises which we used to do, that is fill in the blanks, true or false, choose the appropriate options. So till that, and also find the output, that is Roman letter 1, Roman letter 2, Roman letter 3 and Roman letter 6. So when we meet in the next class, I would like you to answer these questions and keep it ready, and we shall go for discussion of these answers. Okay, and today we are going with the solved questions which is there in your textbook. So once you understand these solved questions, the unsolved questions you will be able to do. The logic for the unsolved questions will also be taught in this session. Okay, now we move over to BlueJ for seeing how the solved programs are working out. Okay, shall we go into? Hope all of you are ready with your textbooks open. Also, you may have a notebook or a pen or pencil, so that when I am explaining you the logic, you may also note it down somewhere, so that like we used to do in the class, some input will be given and then you have to check how the if statement or the for loop is running. Hope you remember all that what we did in 9th standard. Okay, so that will make things more easier. So can we go with the BlueJ program? Okay, fine. We are going with the first program. Your program is asking you to accept a character and check the case. Otherwise, check it is a digit or a special character. Here, you have to accept a character from the user. And if it is a character, then you have to check whether it is uppercase or lowercase. If it is not a character, you have to check whether it is a digit. If it is neither a character nor a digit, we know it is a special character. Okay? So this is your program all about. So what are the things you have to accept from the user? You have to just accept one single character only from the user. And then using the character wrapper class, you have to check whether it is a letter. If it is a letter, you have to check in what case you have entered. Otherwise, you have to go and check whether it is a digit or whether it is a special character. So here, you are importing java.util.asterisk. This is because I am making use of your scanner class. My coding is ch2s1. This is my code. And you can see here, I have declared a variable char chr. So it is in this chr, I am going to store my character. I have given a display statement, enter a character. And then you are accepting the character from the user. I hope you remember all these functions to accept a character. And then now this is where your logic begins. If character dot is letter is a function which checks whether chr is containing a letter or not. So if this condition is true, where will the control of the statement go? The control will go inside my if loop. Now you can see I have an if loop here, another if loop here. This I call it as nested if. And here
If character dot is uppercase of CHR, we also learned is uppercase. What does it do? It checks whether it is a capital letter. If it is returning, this returns a Boolean value. If it is returning true, what should you print? You will print it is in uppercase. CHR means whatever is the letter you entered, that is in uppercase. Clear? If this condition is false, it goes into the next if. Here you are using multiple if. Clear? You are checking whether is it in lowercase. If it is in lowercase, you are going and checking whether it is true. You will display CHR is in lowercase. Here, instead of using your multiple if, you can also go for if else. If this condition is true, you do this, else you do this. So as I said from the beginning, I have been telling you the logic you can use according to your thoughts. Clear? I don't look for the logic, I just look for the output, whether your output works according to the requirement. So instead of using a multiple if, you could have also used an if else statement. So when will this particular coding run? This coding runs if your character is a letter. Hope you are getting it. If in case this is not a letter, what will happen? It will go to your else part. In your else part, what do you see? You are checking if it is a digit. Is digit will return true if you have given a number. If it is a number, it will say it is a number. If it is not a number, what will happen? It is neither a letter nor a number. That it comes to the else part and just prints CH is a special character. So we have checked, is it a letter? If it is a letter, you have checked whether it is in uppercase or lowercase. If it is not a letter, you are coming and checking whether it is a digit. If it is not a digit, you are checking whether it is a special character. Okay. So this is your coding. I have maximum tried to use the same variable names as given in your textbook, so that you follow it, because if I use some other variable, then you may be finding it difficult. So I have maximum try to use the same variables what is given in your textbook. Okay. So this is my coding. I hope you understood it. Now we will execute it and see. So I have done it. I have compiled it, and let me run the program. Okay. Now it says enter a character. Can you see here? So this has come from the statement. Enter a character. Now what am I going to do? I am going to enter one character here. So let me give one character. Let me give one B. So this you can see it is small letter B. And then what happens? I press enter. So it said B is in lowercase. How did it work? Now here CHR is containing small letter B. It comes and checks is letter of small b. Condition is true. So it comes and checks is it in uppercase. Condition is false. So what happens? It goes to this if statement and checks is lowercase. Yes. Condition is true. So you are getting the output B is in lowercase. Will it go to this else statement? No. Why? Because here itself you have got it as true. So you will not go into your else statement, but it comes out of your main function. Okay? Let me run the program once again. We will go with enter a character. Let me give a special character, say at the rate. I hope you all can see it. It's at the rate. Now if I press enter, what will happen? It says at the rate is a special character. How is it happening? Now, again, here in CHR I have scored at the rate. It's a special character. It comes and checks here, it is false. Since it is false, from this if, condition comes to else. Here it checks is digit, is it equivalent to true? Again, the condition is false. So it comes to else, and here it says CHR is a special character. character. Clear? Now I'll run it once again with another value. So again I am giving it here. Let me give a number. Enter a character. Let me give the number say 9. Okay. And then I press enter. So it says 9 is a digit. How is it possible? Now in CHR, though it is a number, I have given it as a character. And here it comes and checks whether is it a letter. Condition is false. So it never gets into all these ifs, but it comes to else and comes and checks whether is it a digit. So here it is true. So it prints 9 is a digit. And here else you are not going into it. Okay. So this is how you find out whether an inserted character is it a letter or is it a digit or whether it is a special character. I hope you have understood it. You will write the coding yourself in your notebook and check out with how it is formed. Please don't by heart the programs. Please try to understand it. First, before that, you must know all the functions that have come into this in this lesson. Otherwise, you will find it difficult. Now we are going with the second program. In your second program, it is asking you to enter a letter, change the case of the input letter and display the new letter as well as its ASCII code. So what is it asking you to do is, you have to input a letter, okay? And if that letter is in small letter, you have to convert it into capital letter. If it is in capital letter, you have to convert it into small letter. And then after conversion, you have to show what is the ASCII code of the newly converted letter. Now we go with the program. You are declaring two variables, CHR and CHR1. CHR will store what the user is giving as input. And it checks whether the letter you entered is it in uppercase. If it is in uppercase, what does it do? You're supposed to convert to lowercase. So you remember the function to lowercase. You're converting whatever letter you got it from the user through CHR. This you are converting into CHR1. And then you are saying the lowercase is CHR1, the newly got lowercase letter, and also the ASCII code of that particular CHR1 is int CHR. This you remember ASCII code conversion. This is a character. The ASCII code of the character can be obtained by typecasting it as int. So if the user has entered a capital letter, it comes and checks whether it is uppercase. If it is in uppercase, it converts it into lowercase and then displays the ASCII code along with the letter. If it is not so, what happens? It comes here. If it is in lowercase, it converts to uppercase and then displays the character and also its ASCII code. I shall run the program for you. So what do you want me to give? Can I give capital letter or small letter G? Okay, I am giving capital letter G. I press enter. You can see. So what happened? CHR contains capital letter G. It comes and checks, is it in uppercase? Yes. So what happens? The control comes inside this if statement and it converts into lowercase and small letter G is stored in CHR1. And it says lowercase is CHR1. Can you see here? Lowercase is G, small g. And the ASCII code of, so ASCII code of G, CHR1 is this small letter G is 103. Yes, I will run it for another. So here I run the program once again. Let me give a small letter. I shall give say Z, small letter Z. Okay. When I give, okay, because that you may not understand. Okay, F. Can I give F? So you can see it, F. And here I press enter button. You can see it is converted into uppercase capital F and your ASCII code is 70. I hope you will get it, because once you know these functions, what does it return and how is its usage, you will find the program quite easy. So what you will do is, in your textbook, you will take a pencil, write here one letter, and then you will see how it is working out, which you used to do in the classroom. Clear? So the same procedure if you use, you will be able to understand the program. Okay. Now we go with the third question. To accept a set of any 10 characters and print the sum of ASCII codes of the characters. So what you have to do is, you can accept any 10 characters from the user, right? And then you have to print the ASCII code of all those 10 characters. It may not be A, B, C. After A, I give X. After that, I give Y. I give C. Any 10 characters you can enter. And for me, for easy running, I have changed from 10, I have changed it to any 3 characters. Okay, so I run it only thrice. So you can see the character char C, you have declared a variable called I, another int variable called S. What does S do? S is storing initially 0 and it is storing the ASCII code of all the entered characters. I is a loop variable. Now enter any 3 characters. Your question says 10 characters, but I am just running short for 3 characters. For I is 0, I less than 3. So it will run for I is 0, I is 1 and I is 2. When I is 3, it comes out. First time when I is 0, this is just a counter value. C is equal in dot next dot character of 0. So you enter the first character, for example, capital A. So what happens? 65. So 65 will be stored into S. Again the control goes to I plus plus. So second time you are taking the value. Now I entered say some other capital D or small letter D. That ASCII code will be added on to S. Third time I entered some other, maybe Y, and then I take the ASCII code, it is added to S. And finally when I finish running it for 3 times, I come out. I come out of the for loop and I print sum of the ASCII code of the 10 characters is what is there in S. Yes, here it's not necessary that you enter in order. Any characters you can enter and from there you can add the ASCII codes of all the characters and then do. What does this portion do? Every time you enter a character that is being found, ASCII code is being found and it is added to S. Okay, I'll run the program and show you. Enter any 3 characters. Okay, now let me say capital or small letter E, right? I press enter. So I has run once. For I is 0, I have entered once. Again it says, so you can see E has been entered here. Can you see? Then next time I enter say capital A. Okay, enter. When I press enter, again capital A is entered. So now I has run for I is 1. Next time it is going to run for I is equivalent to 2. When I say I give K, small letter K, and I press enter, now you can see the ASCII code is 273. Clear? So it has taken any 3 numbers, any 3 characters, they have added the ASCII codes and they have declared. Here it not be entered 10, I should have changed it as 3. Anyway. So I hope you have understood this ASCII code conversion. This is very important because this base, if you know only, we will be able to do many programs. Many programs are dealing with this basic concept of ASCII code conversion. I'll go with one more program, solved question. You have to input a set of n characters. This is the 4th solved question. Find and display the number of uppercase and lowercase characters. So you are not asking the user to enter 5 character or 10 character. No. You are asking the user how many characters you want to enter. If the user says, okay, I want to enter 5 characters, then out of that 5 characters, you are displaying how many the user has entered as uppercase and how many the user has entered as lowercase. You must also, we are assuming, we are not checking here, you are assuming that the characters is not a digit or a special character, because if If it is a digit or a special character, you cannot say whether it is uppercase or lowercase. So we assume that the user enters only uppercase or lowercase characters. So what is the new thing found in this program is you are not asking the user to enter, okay, 5 characters, 10 characters, no. You are taking the value from the user, like how many characters he wants to enter, and then you are running the for loop with that value of n. I think it's clear. Now when we go into the program, maybe you understand better. I have a variable called Class10 for which I'll be taking in the value. I have I is an loop variable. N, I will ask the user how many characters he wants to take. Then NUC is a variable which stores how many uppercase characters the user has entered. NLC is another variable which stores how many lowercase characters the user has entered. I hope this declaration of variables is clear for you for what we are using it. Next we are coming into enter the value of n. So in your machine it will ask you to enter the value. So if I give n as 3, so how many times the loop has run? The loop will run for 3 characters. Enter, how many characters you have told? So many characters you have to enter. I is equivalent to 1, I less than or equivalent to n. Here I have started I value as I, 1. So 1, 2, if I have n as 3, so it will run for I is 1, I is 2, I is 3. Then you will say C is equivalent to in dot next dot character of 0. So you are entering the first character, and after you enter the first character, you are checking whether is it in uppercase. What is in C? The entered value. If it is in uppercase, this counter keeps on incrementing. If it is not in uppercase, NLC keeps on incrementing. So once you finish your for loop, your control comes out and displays how many uppercase, how many lowercase characters we have entered. Okay, I will run the program so that you understand. Enter the value of n. So your machine, your coding is asking you to enter value of n. So how many can I enter? Shall I go with 5 values? Okay, 5. Enter. So you can see enter 5 characters. So this is what is displayed. Enter n. What did I store in n? 5 characters. Now the control goes into your for loop. It is asking you to enter the first character. So first character, let me give capital K. Okay. So I have entered capital K. Again it is asking you for the next letter. See, I give small p. Enter. Then I give capital B. Enter. Then I give capital M. Enter. I give small letter A. Okay. So now how many did I give? I gave K, P, B, M, A. From this, how many uppercase characters are there? K is an uppercase character, B is an uppercase character, M is an uppercase character. So I have got it as 3 characters. Small p and small a. So it is 2 lowercase characters. So what happened? When I is 1, I entered the value of K. It came and checked whether E is uppercase of K. Condition is true. When it is true, what happened to my NUC? NUC became 1. Then again it went to I++. So second time I entered small letter p. Small letter p, here condition is false. So it came here and it incremented NLC++. It was 0, it became 1. When I is 3, what happened? I entered capital B. Capital B, condition is true. So already you have here 1, it got incremented to 2. Next time for I went in for capital M, again it came here NU. So now your capital M means it became NUC++ became 3. Then the last time I entered a small letter A, it came here and it printed 2. So this is how it works. So you are finding out this is a counter value which keeps track of how many uppercase characters and lowercase characters we are entering. Here we are assuming that the user does not enter any number or special character. Your question says assume. Otherwise, we have to check that also, whether it is letter. Okay. Since the question says assume, we are not going and checking. Okay. We assume that the user also enters only characters. Okay. So these are the 4 problems which programs solved questions which is there in your book. You can also go today itself. Don't postpone. Today itself take your textbook, try to write the code snippet, don't put it for later. At last you will find all in a mess. Clear? So every day the program, whatever I teach you, try to write it in your notebook. So as I said, when I demand, the notebook has to be shown with all the solved questions, unsolved questions, whichever I am clearing it for you. Let it be a neatly maintained notebook so that you don't write all stories, don't write so many diagrams and all that. You maintain one notebook mainly for computer only. Don't write all the subjects in the same notebook. I hope you understood all this. And so homework is there. I shall tell you what is the homework. Please do the homework and submit it to me when I demand. Okay. Hope you all understood the solved programs, how we go about with the thing. Now I am going to tell you some homework problems. That is, you will be taking your page number 162, page number 162. You will be working on the first 3 programs. Clear? Your first 3 programs, you will be writing down the code and you will be keeping it with you. And once when I demand, you will have to send it to me. Okay. Now your first program is asking you to input a character and then display the next 10th character. So whichever character the user is in giving as input, that plus 10 you have to find as the next 10th character. For example, if I am giving as capital A, if I give capital A as my input character, I will find the ASCII code of that particular character. Suppose I am storing that in a variable called CH. Clear? I will find the ASCII code of that particular character, and then what I will do, I should add 10 to that ASCII value. When I add 10 to the ASCII value, I will get one number or one ASCII code. I will again typecast it back to character and I will display the character. That is only very simple logic it is. You have to input a character, and once you input the character, what you will do? You will find the ASCII code of that input character, and then onto that ASCII code you will add 10 because we want the 10th character. You will add 10 and then you get an ASCII number. You will just typecast that ASCII number and that is the final character. That is your first question. Hope you understood your program. First program. Okay? And your second program is asking you to input a character and display the next 5 characters. Clear? Whichever character you are inputting, from that onwards, next 5 characters. Clear? So for this, the same way, you input a character, you find the ASCII code, and from that ASCII code, you run a for loop 5 times. So when you run a for loop 5 times, you will be displaying the next 5 characters. So here you have to use a for loop because they have asked you to display the 5 characters. Clear? Think about it. Don't ask your friends for the code and all that. Try to do it yourself, then you will be the best person. Clear? Don't try to copy it from others. Then the third question, write a program to generate all the alternate letters in the range of letters from A to Z. Means if you display A, then you will display C. After that, you will display E. That means what? Again, you are going to run. You are not taking anything from the user. You have to just display the alternate characters from A to Z. That means after A, you have to display C. So how will you do this? You know the ASCII code of capital A is 65. Then if you want to display not B but C, what should be the code? 67. So how will you get 65 to 67? Plus 2. So again here you will run a for loop starting from value 65 but your increment will go with 2. Once your increment goes with 2, and you will stop it when it becomes 90. Clear? That is the A to Z. So you will be writing these 3 programs and you will be having it with you. Once I tell you, you will be uploading it back. Okay? So, okay, very good. Hope all of you will cooperate with me and write your assignment codes. Then I'll get back to you in the next session. Till then, okay, bye.